So that's for those who are unable to make it, they'll still be able to get access. All right, so this is the Entrepreneur's Guide to Source and Secure a Corporate Contract. And remember, contracts can be large or small. They could be universities, they can be school, they could be social services. I'm just talking about any organization that has staff, because usually it's to do with people, all right? So this is what we're going to do. I want to know what you want to get out of today's session. Just put that in the chat for me. What do you want to get out of it? Do you want to know how to have better conversations? Could it be, I want to find out if my skill set is relevant to larger organizations? Whatever it is, just put that in the chat right now for me. Just put that in the chat. Awesome. You want to get a foot in the door. That's all you need. And that's all you need most of the time. Once you get a foot in the door, I can tell you for the last 4 weeks, Vanessa, I've been talking to different corporates, and I'm telling you, I'm getting a foot in the door. I'm actually talking to them about my event, obviously. But at the same time, I'm building these relationships with them to the point that I can now go back to them and say, well, actually, you know, you've engaged in something that I've done. How can I help you? How can I serve you more? So yeah, getting that foot in, securing more contract at minimal input. Jay, if only. Well, there are some ways that you can do it with minimal input. And actually, I'm going to show you one of them today. So, which is great, which is good. But yeah, that's a hard one. I'm not going to lie, it's a hard one. Securing international clients. Yes, Ria, I love that. I've done that in the past, and I've been able to take people from my group, from my cohort with me to Dubai to deliver training. We've done leadership training, management. We did some training on neuroscience. We did training on tendering as well. So it's definitely, and the international people, I'll tell you, they love people from the UK. Once you have a UK passport, it gets you in. So that's good. Packaging and pricing, definitely, Vanessa. We will definitely see if we can touch on that. Okay, brilliant. Keep them coming, guys. Keep them coming, securing international clients. I love that. All right, brilliant. So this is good. I wanted to get this idea, so I'll make sure that the presentation I've got for you is on track. I think it's definitely on track. I've got 2 screens, so I'm looking at 2 screens at the moment. So a little bit about me, for those who I'm new to, and there's always going to be new people, which is always great for me. Just a little bit about me in terms of why I'm credible to be talking about what I do. And it's literally because I have over 25 years of experience in HR. That's what makes me credible. So I've done this within an organizational setting. I've done this within the corporate setting. And that has given me the leverage to then expand to do leadership training. And what's new in my arsenal of things that I can do is supplier diversity advocate. So I'm not an expert in supplier diversity. I'm an advocate, which means I will always try and push my people. You guys are my people, women business owners, ethnic minority owned business, small business owners. I will always be an advocate for you guys to get you into more bigger spaces. Because right now, a lot of us sell B2C. Nothing wrong with that, and that's where my sweet spot is. But because I know my charges are at the premium price, instead of me trying to sell my premium, you know, the really high prices to my B2C clients, I go to B2B and I charge them a premium, which means then I can offer my rates at a more reasonable rate to the entrepreneurs I work with. So that's by and large why I do what I do. Also, I'm a trustee, I'm a board member. I do deliver training for some of the brands that you see below you, Ministry of Justice, UCL, Legal and General. And in terms of my talks and my workshops, I think I've now surpassed 20,000 quite easily. So I'm not new to this game at all, but I want to carry you on and take you on the journey with me. So these are some of the other brands I've done for record labels. I've done for international. So Bergen Bank, they're out in Saudi Arabia, Talent Scouts in Dubai, Amazon's in the US, but I did it here in the UK for their UK arm. So these are just showing you who I've done the work for. But what we're going to cover tonight is I want to show you your profit leaks. I want to identify where you are leaking money, yeah, where you're making money just fall through. Because some of these things that I'm going to show you are not new, but you're just not doing what you should be doing consistently. That's the difference. So you're doing it sometimes, but you're not doing it consistently. And I want to show you how you can do it more consistently. The second is identifying corporate priorities. So many times people come to me and say, Michelle, I want to do this with corporates, I want to do that. And my question is it a corporate priority? Which means, are the corporate ready to pay you big money for what you have to offer? But I'm going to show you some recent research, and I'm going to identify it for you. What are the key 5 challenges they have right now? And I can guarantee if you can solve one of those challenges, they will pay you for it. Now, there might be challenges which are not listed there. Doesn't mean they won't pay you for it because AI wasn't on there. But I know for a fact that Microsoft are looking for people, consultants, freelancers, contractors that can do AI. Microsoft, I know that for a fact. I got that more recently, but that's not on my list. But if you can do AI, perfect. All right. And then the third area is I want to show you how to find the buyers and how to have those conversations, finding out what do you need? How urgent is it? What's your budget like? I want to go through all of that with you. Okay, great. So let's look at the first one, your profit leaks. Now, what I've done, I've just got all the information on the page so that you can screenshot it. All right. If you want to take a screenshot, feel free to do that. Feel free to share that on your socials. I'm not precious. I'm not precious. All right. But some of us are not activating our existing network. There are people who are sitting next to you. There are people that you go to work with. There are people on your LinkedIn. You are not activating the existing networks. I don't even activate or leverage all of my existing network. Just today, I remembered that I have the email address and the telephone number of the head of supply diversity for Amazon. I totally forgot. And I picked up one of my old books and it was there, all his details there. Now, what do I do with this information? The next step is, Michelle, what do I do with this information? When I've got the right network, what do I do next? So what I'm going to do is go into email him first thing tomorrow morning and tell him, hi, I don't know if you remember me, but I'm this person. I came up to you and I did this, I did that. I'm going to try and remind him of who I am. And then I'm going to put in my ask. I'm going to find out what's happening within Amazon and I'm going to put in my request. That's what I'm going to do. So think about your network. Who are you not talking to that you should be talking to? Then you're not charging enough. We're all in that situation. I know it's not just me. I know it's not just you. We're not charging enough, or we're not having enough repeat buyers. We're always looking for new buyers, which is hard work, always hard work. But what we should be doing is making sure people who buy from us again. You have something else to feed them with, something else to give them. That's what we should be doing. We're not getting in front of enough decision makers, the people that hold the purse strings. We're not talking to them enough. We're not visible. They don't even know we exist. They don't know that we can do well-being. They don't know that we can do training and development. They don't know that we can do consulting. How do we get visible? We're not having enough great conversations because they're going nowhere. We have to make sure that we are steering the conversation. We're getting stuck in the feast and famine cycle. 1 month is good, next month not. We're talking to people who are not the decision makers. Now, I delivered a training. Well, I didn't. It was someone who I knew from Dubai who did the training on understanding who your influencers are, your insiders are, and your impacted. Because you need to talk to all of them. We're not having multi-year clients. We're writing proposals that's got ghosted. That's happened to me. They don't get ghosted anymore, but it used to get ghosted, definitely. We're creating programs that nobody has bought yet. And we're wasting too much time posting content on social media without a strategy. Now, just let me know in the comments, does any of them resonate with you? Do any of those resonate with you? Be open and be honest and say, yes, Michelle, actually, there's about 5 of them, 7 of them, 1 of them. Let me know in the chat. Does any of these things resonate with you? Let me know, let me know. Nothing to feel ashamed of either, because trust me, I'm still suffering from this, and I can teach it, but I am still suffering from some of them, not all of them. So let me have a look in the chat. So Karen said yes. So Karen, just be careful, you sent that to me directly. If you wanted it in the open chat, you just need to make sure it's sent to everyone. Definitely need to activate. Yes, Jay, I know that you've got a brilliant network, and there's so many people out there. I can guarantee they are more likely to help you than not to help you. All right. What else have we got? Let's see what else has people shared. Yes, quite a few. Okay. All right. Okay. So we can all resonate that we've all been there. All right. We've all been there, and there's nothing to be ashamed of. But what I want to show you are the 3 major problems that we all suffer from. We suffer from a visibility and proximity problem, which means we are not talking to enough decision makers. That was on the list. That's one of the major issues that we all have. Control and clarity. So we're having the wrong decisions with the right decision makers, or we're having the right conversations with the wrong people. We need to control the narrative and be very clear on the problem. And the last problem is relevancy and urgency. Listen, most people don't like being sold to. So you have to sell them something that is relevant to them and is urgent. Because I can guarantee there's a number of things that you do sell, which are great stuff. But is it timely? Is it timely? Is it relevant? And is it urgent? So have a think about what you do. Is it relevant and is it urgent? Okay, so I did a bit of research, and the research led me to these 2 stats that I wanted to share with you. That 70% of businesses, just call them corporates for now, but businesses say that they are open to making remote purchases of £50,000. So that's if you wanted to get a piece of work, they are open to paying you and me around 50,000 K mark. And then 27 said that they are willing to spend more than 500,000 if they get the right people. This could be a multi-year. That's likely to be a multi-year contract. But the fact remains, it's possible, it's accessible. All right. That means they are open to doing this. And if you're thinking there's not enough companies out there, and there's how many of us on here now, and I've been running these webinars like every other week, slightly different. But look at that. There are 3.69 million businesses with more than 5 employees. There's more than 1.5 million non-profit organizations. There's 500,000 conferences and trade shows. And then in those conferences and trade shows, there's another how many thousands of businesses. There's more than 4,000 colleges and universities. So you've got access to all of those. So you might be thinking, but Michelle, why me? What's so special about me? Why would they take me? I'll tell you why they'll take you. It's because we have a niche expertise. Just Monday, I was having a speaker briefing call with Ernst & Young. And that's what she said. She said she loves working with diverse business owners, small business owners, because they have a niche expertise. They're agile and flexible. This is what she said in her conversation. This is someone from Ernst & Young has said this. And this is why this is the right time for us. This is the perfect timing, especially because some of these companies, they have what we call ESG criteria. Economic, sustainable, and economic, sustainable, and governance. That's the ESG. So these are the criteria that's given by the government to them to make sure that they are working more sustainably, to make sure that they're working more diversely. So this is why this is the perfect timing for absolutely all of us. Absolutely all of us. So we've identified the profit leaks. We need to make sure you go through them. Who do I need to be speaking to? How can I raise my charges, but in a fair and authentic and legitimate way? Don't just wake up and I'm going to increase my prices. What extra value will you bring to the table? And now I want to show you the corporate priority, how to make sure what you offer is what they need and that it's relevant and that it is urgent. Okay, that's what we're going to show you now. You must have a product or a service that does one of those four things. That's the bottom line. It must save them time, or it must push an initiative. It might be something they have in-house, or it might be something that you want to do. Or it must make them money, or it must save them money. If it doesn't do any of those four, I can tell you categorically, it won't work. I can tell you categorically, they won't even see you. Because think about a business. They only want to talk to people if you can you make me money? If I bring you in as a contractor, can you make me money? If I bring you on as a freelancer, can you save me time? We're working on this initiative to get more female leaders at the top half of our organization. Can you help us do that? Can you save them time? If we bring you in, are you going to cut our learning curve in half? That is all they are interested in. So let me know in the comment, can you save them time? Can you push a new initiative? Can you make them money? Can you save them money? Can you do all four? Let me know in the chat. Can you do these things? Let me know in the chat. So, absolutely. You can do all four, Karen. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. What else can we see? Who can just do one? Can you do two? Can you do all three? Let me know in the chat. So as you're typing that, I wanted to share with you the 5 core challenges. You can see them on your screen. These are the challenges that currently most companies, not all, but most companies have at the moment. They're growing too fast. Now the fact that we can work hybrid, they can now employ more people because they don't need to worry about location. Location is no longer a problem. So now they're growing fast. They're growing fast. Do they have the right systems in place? Have they got their procedures all in place for the growth that they are experiencing? Can you help with that? Think about what you offer. Can you help them with this? Can you help them with focus and productivity? Because now the challenge 1 has become challenge 2. Because they're growing too fast, they're allowing this hybrid working. They're allowing these 4-day working, compressed hours. This is nothing new. We've been in this business for a long time. It's not new, but now it's got pace. So now the problem becomes, how do we keep our employees focused and productive even when they're working from home? How are we keeping them focused? Problem 1 becomes problem 2, becomes problem 3. Now we're growing too fast. There's a problem with focus and productivity. Now we're having people who now feel they can do all of it and then some. Now they're leaving. So our turnover is higher and our retention is low. Can you help us with that? If we brought in your services, can you help us retain our good employees? Can you make sure that the turnover reduces so that people are staying and that they're going up the ranks, that they come in at middle managers and they make senior managers and they become part of our leadership teams? Can you support us with that? Can you help us with well-being? People are leaving because of stress, because of overwhelm. What services do you provide that can help lower stress levels? Think about your services. That's what I want you to do. Think about your services. Preparing for the future of work. I mentioned about AI. And when we talk about AI, we're talking about chatbots. We're talking about all these new technology. It's scaring people. People think that their roles will become redundant. How can you help secure that confidence? Do you have a service or a product that can do that? And that's what I want you to think about. And the last one, which is all I always find so funny, they don't even know what their problems are. So they might need you to come in and do an audit, do a recce to see where are the gaps, where are the holes, and let me be the person to fill those gaps. 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. What can you help with? Put in the chat 1, 2, 3, or 5. It could be 1 and 5, 3 and 4. It doesn't matter. Let me know in the chat. Is there anything that you can do? Because these are the top 5 challenges happening right now. There are other things, but I've only identified the top 5. Let me know in the chat. Awesome. Keep putting it in the chat, but I want to show you the buying process. I want to show you the buying process. So the first one is research. It's research, assemble, and propose. So research is literally what it says on the tin. Before you can go to any corporates and offer them what they do, offer your services, you must do your research on them. Do research either on the industry or you do research on that particular company. Either one, it doesn't matter. Now, I do most of my research. I use, obviously, Google. I look on their website. I go on best places to work. If they're a trade body, I will go to the, I do HR. My trade body would be the CIPD, Chartered Institute of Personal Development. I will go on that website. I will download some information so I can understand what's happening in the HR profession before I even put anything out to anyone. That's what I would do. Now, here's a tip. Most of you might know this, some of you may not, so I'm going to share it with you. If you have Google, which we all do, put on your Google alerts and put in a specific, anything specific that you want to find out more about. So with mine, I have corporate UAE because I've done quite a bit of work out there. I want to do some more. I want to find out what's the corporate challenges happening in the UAE. So I put that as an alert. So I get alerted once or twice a week, 3 times a week sometimes. And I go through it and I can see what are the critical problems. So it makes me more of the solution provider. Do you understand what I mean? If I know what the problem is, I know how to solve the issue. So do your research. Then once you are armed with the research, you need to assemble. You need to be where they are. They're not going to come to your offices. They're not going to go to your Zoom meeting. You have to go where they are. Going where they are is either you creating an online space and you bring them to you, or you have to go to events, online or in person. Those are your 2 options. Those are your 2 options. Then the last is propose. So you've researched, you've assembled where they will be, and now you're going to put your proposal. Now, for you to propose your offer or your service, there are certain what do I call it? Delivery mechanisms, routes to market. That's the word, Michelle, routes to market. And I've written them down here. They are called, you can have lunch and learns, roundtables, managers' think tanks, or power breakfasts. Those are just some. I've got a whole list of other ones, but I want you to think about those as ways to get in contact with your corporates. Yeah, that's what you can do. So are there any questions so far? Please put them in the chat. If there's any questions, put them in the chat. Right, brilliant. Let's go on to the next bit. So this, take a picture of this. These are some of the ways you can monetize your expertise for corporates. Some of you are doing it already, I know. You could do audits. You could do strategy sessions, done for you services. Train the trainer, online courses, webinars. You may think of some other things which are not there. That's fine. These are the most common things you can do. Your taster session could be in the form of a lunch and learn. And a lunch and learn is literally where you can have a particular subject. Let me think of a subject. Women in senior leadership, just random, right? You can then say, I can put on a small lunch and learn if you get all your women in a particular department, because we're not here to try and conquer the whole company. Let's do department by department by department. And you say, let's get your mid-level female employees. You then organize a lunch and learn for about 45 minutes. They just get them in the room. Most of the time you do it complimentary, but you don't have to do it complimentary. I do it complimentary because I usually use lunch and learn as a strategy for new businesses who don't know me. So I try and, reduce the barrier to entry. And then what I do is for 45 minutes, I will deliver a session, probably share 2 or 3 key points in that session to help them become better leaders. Then what the key is the survey at the end. That's the trick. The survey is going to get you back into the company, because your survey, you'll have particular questions, which I have access to. They'll have certain questions that will get them to answer in a way that you have to come back in. And then you feed that survey report back to the company and say, this is what we did. This is the feedback. This is the response. But now we need to take this to the next level. What's the next step? That's how you do it. So if you want to find out more about that, please reach out to me. So these are some of the things you can be doing. Because the more people that know about you and your expertise that we just saw, the more opportunities and conversations you will create. I can guarantee you, if somebody said, now the thing is, I don't really even do HR that much now, but if somebody said on LinkedIn, I need to find someone who knows about HR, I can guarantee you I get tagged all the time. I don't even do HR anymore, but because I've been known for HR, I've been known for doing that, people will just tag me in. Let me just open the door for my cat. Otherwise, she's going to keep scratching at the door. Okay, guys, brilliant. So does that make sense? The more people that know you and know of your expertise, you get tagged in. I did something on negotiation. I'm not even a negotiation expert, but I talked about negotiation for a whole week. And because I talked about it for the whole week, somebody saw it. It wasn't for them, but they referred me because they knew about a company that wanted to bring in someone who could do a talk about negotiation. And I was top of mind because that week on LinkedIn, I was talking about negotiation, and we were talking about, I know Pearline is on this line. Remember, we were talking about negotiation, and we went to go and buy a Mercedes that same week. And I tried to negotiate some money of a white convertible Mercedes, and I did it live. And I said to the showroom man, I am talking about negotiation all week, and you're live on LinkedIn, and I need you 2, let me know where we can negotiate here. So we did this live, and did I get any money off the car? Did we get any money off the car? No, we didn't. But what did he say? He said that he will fill the tank of petrol. And we were up in, like, I don't know, like near Yorkshire. We were at the top of the UK. And he said he will fill the tank. And I think he gave us another year of something. So that's what we were able to negotiate on. But I say that and I share this with you to tell you that you have to keep speaking about your message. Keep speaking about what you do, because people all over the place are listening and waiting. And I got referred for a paid speaking engagement on negotiation. All right. So is this good stuff for you so far, guys? Are you getting something from it? Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat. What are you getting from it? What have you got so far? Anything that has, you know, lit a bulb for you to think, oh, actually, I can do this. Let me know in the chat. Please, please share. So while you're writing that down, I want to share with you in terms of what types of conversations you can be having. So we've identified some of the profit leaks, and we've looked at the corporate priorities, saving them money, making them money, saving them time, and pushing an initiative. Make sure whatever you do falls into one or more of those categories. Then we looked at the 5 challenges, and you identified, oh, actually, I can do 2 of those, I can do 3 of those. That means you're on the right lines. Then we looked at the wrap buying process, the research, the assemble, and making sure that you propose. You must always make an offer. So now we're going to look at, how do I have those conversations now, Michelle? Now that I'm armed with what I need to do, how do I have those conversations? I'm going to show you right now. You need to be where they are. That's the first thing you need to do. And I've just written a list of certain places, industry-related events, private members club, black tie galas, fundraising galas. I'm going to tell you this. When I first started doing all this, I remember I used to get dressed up and go to industry events by myself because nobody wanted to go with me. But that, you know, it was not easy work. It wasn't easy doing this. But I made my name as somebody who was who will just go out there and get the work. And it was from there I built up my networks with corporates. I would just go to events. So at the beginning, it was hard graft. It wasn't easy. It wasn't minimal input. It wasn't at the beginning. But now it is so much easier. It's so much easier now. And sometimes you have to put the grind in the beginning. And that's what I had to do. So I went to a lot of industry-related events. I went to private members clubs, and I didn't pay for private members club. I asked them for a week trial, complimentary. And in that week, I met so many people. But now they're in my black book of contacts. I can guarantee you that my black book of contacts is the most lucrative and valuable item I have right now, my network. Because if I wanted to reach out to someone in different organizations, I have that network because I did all of those things. I don't have to do them all now. But going to black tie galas, especially fundraising galas, corporates are always there because they always feel like they need to give back. So they go to fundraising and charity balls. Buy your ticket. Buy a ticket and go. I can guarantee that £300 ticket, you may think it's £300, but that £300 ticket to go to a charity ball or a charity fundraiser, and you're sitting next to somebody who might work for Sky or who may work for Barclays, whatever it is, you have that conversation with them and you tell them what you do, that you help with well-being, that you help with this, or you've got a track record of doing this and that. I can guarantee you will get a meeting in the diary the following week. And then all you need to do is do what you do best. Tell them what you do. You need a correct value proposition. Of course you do. But once you get that past the line, you're good to go. You just ask them, why don't you bring me in, at a low cost? Let's start with 10, 15K contract and let's see what it's like. But for some of us on here now, 15K contract is better than what you're doing now, where it might be just £500 here and there, 1,000 here, 2,000 here, with one corporate gig, 15,000, one speaking gig, 7,000, one speaking gig, 5,000. Come on now, guys. When you weigh up, it's worth putting in the grind. And you don't need to go to all of them all of the time. You don't need to do that. You need to pick one, go, build the relationship, make those connections, keep in contact, follow up. That's what you need to be doing. So this is what we need to do less of. Don't get bogged down by the fancy websites, all the logos, the social media posting, winning lots of awards, because you only end up being well known but broke. Because you're spending money on things which are unnecessary. I can tell you that I got most of my corporate contracts and none of them visited my website. None of them. Because I didn't have a website then. I didn't have a website. I have a website now, but at the time I didn't. I did it by pure grit of just speaking to people, having the right conversations with people, with no fancy website, no website with anything floating or anything popping up. I had nothing, no website. What I wanted to do more of, and what I do more of now, is speak at events. I speak at industry events. I speak at conferences. If you go to 10 times, I think they're called, 10times.com. They have a list of all the industries, a list of all the conferences. Go on to there, go in there, contact the event organizer, see if there's any speaker slots available. That's how I did it. And that's how I got onto it. Get them to participate with you. Remember when I talked about the entry to market, the route to market? That could be a lunch and learn. That could be an audit. That could be a survey. That could be an executive roundtable. Those are the routes to market. Connect with them at events before, during, and after the event. Optimize your LinkedIn strategy. Whatever strategy you're using, is it working? If it's not working, it needs to be shifted. It needs to be amended. And sell an MVP, which is a minimum viable product gateway. That, and like I said, it can be a lunch and learn. It could be a PDF. It could be an audio. It could be something small that they can get to experience you. That's what you want them to do, is to experience you. So I just had a question. I can tell you that now. It's called 10times.com. Let me, this is how it is. So someone just asked, where can you go for speaking engagements? So don't get me wrong, Ria. You don't go there for speaking engagements. You go there to see all the different engagements. So there's conferences, there's trade shows, there's smaller seminars. So, we've got like Eventbrite. 10 times is better. No, it's not better. It's the same, but it's got more conferences globally, right? So 10times.com. So I used to go on there. I would have a look and see what events are happening and where they're happening. And then it takes you to the website. Then I can have a look at the website. I'll find out, it'll either say we're looking for speakers, or I will just find out who the event organizer is and go in that way. All right. So hopefully that helps. Awesome. So let's look at the conversation. So this is the framework I use. I'll go more into details, but time doesn't allow us to go into all the details. But it's called the critical corporate conversation framework. And so what I've done with my members, I've shown them the 4 areas, and then I've given them a script for each, right? There's a script for each. So in briefly, I'll just share it with you. There's the setup. That's where you remind them why we're having this call. And there's a certain script. You don't need to copy the script, but there's certain things that you will say to make sure to get them on board with you. Then you establish the gap. And this is where you'll ask questions such as, and actually I've got some questions for you in the next slide. You might ask questions such as, so how long has this issue been going, and what have you done to resolve it previously? Why did it work? Why didn't it work? You really want to establish what the problem is. Then that's where you now feed in, well, this is what I can do for you. Here's some options, and this is why I'm credible. This is where you show them why they should listen to you. And then the next steps is, okay, so what we're going to do now is, the best thing for me to do is probably come back in and see you and someone else if there's another decision maker, or let me get in quite quickly. Let's organize a lunch and learn, an executive roundtable. Let me do an audit. Let me have a discussion with some other members of your team. That's what the next steps will be. So what I want you to do, I'm going to share with you some questions right now. Feel free to take a picture of some of those questions. These are just some, not all, and they're not all in order, obviously. But this is what you do when you're going to go department by department. It's too much of an effort, it's too much of a stress and struggle when you're trying to do the whole company. So this is what you do. And this is what I've done, so I'm going to share with you. What I've done is I've gone into a company and done one department first. And I've got that department to know, like, and trust me. Like me enough that they then refer me to another department in the company. Then they know, like, and trust me. Then they refer me to another. So by the time I finish, I've done all the departments, then I've done the company. That's how you do it. A lot of people say, oh, I want to do this piece of work with Tesco's. I want to do a piece of work with Apple. That's too big. It's never going to happen. You will have to tender for that. And don't worry, we do tendering. We help you with tendering contracts and tendering proposals. We have a team that helps you with that. That's not a problem. I'm here talking to the ones that don't want to tender right now. They want to come under the 100K mark. Some companies, if you want a 100K contract, you have to tender. Then some, you don't have to tender. But that's where you go department to department to department. All right? That's how you do it. Let me see. I love that, Sonia. Eat the elephant one bite at a time. You can't eat the whole elephant. You have to do his tail, then the foot, then the arm. You have to do little by little. And that's what I did with Amazon. All right. How would this work for, Ministry of Justice? Interesting. Because I've done this with the Ministry of Justice as well. Interesting question. We'll come back to that. That's a good question. I will definitely answer that. So Pauline or Janine, if you're still there, make sure I address that question. Brilliant. Okay, so these are what corporate conversations, that 4-point conversation framework, there's levels to each of them, right? There's levels, and then there's like but it doesn't need to be stressful. It doesn't have to be stressful because they are conversations. You're not going into them saying, buy me, buy me, buy me. Have a conversation with them. Let them know what you do. And the easiest way to do it, and someone can correct me if I'm wrong, tell me that I'm lying. But I'm going to tell you the best way to do it is when they are in front of you and you can build rapport with them. I can tell you that most of the contracts I've got is either through referrals and recommendations, always, always, always. I always get referred or always get recommended. Or I seek out the people myself. So there's cold emails, and that takes long, and that's hard work, and it's labor intensive. But if you go to an event, or if you go on an online event, or if you get invited to an event and you're sitting next to somebody, and you can have the conversation there, that's how you get in. That's one of the ways you get in. And it's an easy way to get in. Because you might be talking about something, it could be anything, and they just like you and they think, oh, gosh, Colette, she's lovely. So Colette, tell me a little bit more about yourself. That's how it happens. So it doesn't have to be stressful. It doesn't have to be hard work. And if you leverage your network correctly, they will recommend you. This is what you do. Here's a trick for you. Write this down, guys. Write this down. Create please write this down. I must create a self-forwarding email. That's one tip I want you to take away. You must create a self-forwarding email. And literally all that is, you create the email for them. If you have someone in your network, do not let them do the hard work. If you make it hard work for them, they will not do it. They will not refer you. They will not recommend you. A self-forwarding email is you compiling the email for them. And you might say, Colette, I would love you to introduce me to this person at CBRE or at Ernst & Young. This is the email. So, and you write it in the first person. So you write it like they are writing it. And you give it to them, and then you can say, you can tweak it, you can take bits out of it, you can add to it. But it makes their job easier, because what happens if you leave it to their own devices? They don't get your title right. They don't get your bio right. But if you create the self-forwarding email, it's all done for them. It's all done for them. This is what I do, because people are too busy. They're not going to go on your LinkedIn and find out who you are, to make sure they're getting all the facts right and in the right order, to make their job easier. Is that all right? Guys, is that all right to make their job easier? Put a 1 in the chat if you're going to do that. The next time you're going to ask someone to refer you or recommend, write the email for them, please. Because then you know how to do it. It's in your tone. Not necessarily tone is important, but you have all the right facts in there. And that makes their job easier. That's how you leverage your connections. So corporate conversations lead to this. Hi, Michelle. I'm reaching out because I'm exploring training for a company half-day session in September. So that's just gone, right? We envisage this covering microaggressions, unconscious bias, white privilege, and stereotypes. Please call us so that we can discuss cost. Those are conversations. Those are the ones I live for. When I wake up in the morning and I open my email and I see this, I love those types of, I love it. I love it, love it, love it. Because I'm not doing the work. It's coming to me. And it's coming to me because I've leveraged my credibility. I've leveraged my connections. I walk and talk. I walk the walk and talk the talk. So I don't do one thing here and do another thing here. I don't confuse people. I don't confuse them. All right, we don't want that. We want to be integral. I say what I say and I do what I do. So that's what you want to do. And also this. So this is one of our clients, Janine Esbrand, who's now a career development expert. This is what she did. She came to me with a situation, and I said, put in, I think I told her more than 7.5K. But anyway, they left with a 7.5K speaking. This is for speaking, my friends. That's what she got for speaking. And then they said that there's more work for her. So then she was doing a whole lot of different law firms, speaking, doing training, and making a lot of money. And she still sells her services to the consumers, B2C. She still does that. So I'm not showing you anything that must replace. This is just additional income, guys, additional income. To the point that if you want to do it full time, that's your business and you're free to do so. But I want to show you how you can make some more money, and it doesn't have to be long, and it doesn't need to be arduous. It doesn't have to be at all. If you go for smaller contracts like that, you can get that in a month. If you want bigger contracts like 15, 20, 50,000, 100,000, be prepared that could take 3 to 6 months. Because the bigger the money, the bigger the sales cycle. So I'm not here to fool anyone and say that you can get 50,000 or 100K in 2 weeks or 3 weeks. That will never happen. No, let's not say never, Michelle. Never say never. Never say never. And I have to remind myself, because I have got big money and it didn't take me long. But let's talk about it in the terms of normally it would take about 3 to 6 months, sometimes 6 to 9 months, sometimes even 12 months, depending on how much you're going for. But if you want to get some quick money under the, under 10 or under 20K, you can do that. I pitched for something more recently, and it was 17,000. And that was to do a series of workshops over 3 months. So I pitched it at 17,000 for 3 months work. And although you might think 3 months, 17,000, but I only needed to show up once over those 3 months, once a month, and it was online. Yeah. So this is what we're talking about. So it doesn't have to be hard, labor intensive. So that was Janine. And another girl called Samantha, she got this piece of work with Adidas. So she actually signed a 1-year retainer with Adidas. So they paid her consistently each month. And she's still doing her other work. She still does what she does. Still does her mentoring with her women in business. She still does her career coaching, but she's also got a retained contract with Adidas. Brilliant. Who would love to have some of this? Let me know in the chat if anyone would love to have some of this. And even little old me. That's how I got the piece of work with Amazon. I did one department, got another department, then did another department. And they came back and they said, could you do a whole, is it a 9-month or 10-month long workshop? So each month I went in and did it. And all I was doing, I did one on confidence. I did one on public speaking. I did one on negotiation. 1 hour, 1 hour, 1 hour, 1 hour, 1 hour a month. That's it. That's it. I did one department doing that. And then they said, another department might want you. I did the same with that. That's it. Remember, eat the elephant one bite at a time. One bite at a time. That's all you have to do. And then we've got 2 more. These are 2 more recent ones. I'll tell you how recent, as in this week. Yeah. So these slides are up to date as of this week. So Jenny Beckford, I helped her with her proposal last week, and she sent me this, that the proposal has been accepted and they want her to deliver, and now they're just working out pricing. She heard from them yesterday. This is how quick you can turn. Now, some of you I know want to do educational institutes. This is for a school that she's doing it for. And then we have Jeffrey Manso. I was showing him how to network, how to really utilize, because this month has been full of events for Black History Month in the UK predominantly, and he's been going to all of them, well, as many as he can, and he's now secured 3 meetings booked in the calendar for next week. And to get those meetings, and I can tell you, is one of them Disney? I think one of them was Disney. There you go. It's not hard. It doesn't have to be arduous. But he actually picked himself up and he went to the event. He followed the instructions, followed the guidance, and now he's got 3 meetings booked. It's so possible, guys. It is so possible. So my question to you, my last question to you is, who wants to get in front of more corporate buyers? Who wants to get in front of corporate buyers and have these conversations? Let me know. Let me know in the chat. Do you want to have more of these conversations? What's stopping you from having those conversations? Let me know in the chat. Yes, I do. Yeah, of course you do. And it's amazing, Vanessa. I sit in awe, because I'm not going to sit here and say it's all me, but I sit in awe and I feel like actually I played a part in that. Because they did the work. You still have to do the work. I can give you all the scripts. I can give you all the templates, but you still have to put the work in. You still need to go out. You still need to send it. You still need to have those conversations. So that's what it's all about. So this is what I want to do. Action is everything. This is what I want to do for you guys, right? So some of you might know that I'm organizing an event. And the whole point of the event is to bring together small, diverse business owners with corporates. I've done the hard work, guys. Trust me, I'm still doing the hard work, right? I want to bring these corporates to you, and I need you to be there. Let's keep it very real. I'm not even going to sugarcoat this. You've got to be in the room to have those conversations with different people, and not just with the main speakers, but there are people sitting around you. People sitting around you, having conversations with them, building together, coming together. Like even someone said to me last week, could I come, me and her work together to pitch to a company? And I said, let me hear more about what your business does and what you do, because I've got a reputation to maintain. And so I've listened. I thought, yeah, we can do that. We can do that. So now we're working together to pitch to a company together. All right. This is what we need to do. We have to stop working in silos, work together, work with people who are on this call and see what we can do, join forces together. So this is the event, 10th of November. Put it in your diaries. Put the 10th of November in your diary and come and meet Meta. Come and meet Lloyd's, Ernst & Young, Diageo, JC Decor, Moody's, UCL, Wedlake Bell, and there's other ones that I don't even know yet because Lloyd's have invited, Ernst & Young, they have invited some other corporates. Come and meet them. Come and hear what they have to say about working for them as a contractor, as a supplier, as a freelancer, how to get a speaking gig with Lloyd's, how to get a speaking gig with Moody's. This is where you'll find them. I'm bringing them to you. Remember I said to you at the beginning, they're not going to come to you? Well, through me they will, because I'm bringing them to you. We all have to meet at the same place on the 10th of November. Yeah? So this is what you can expect to see and get and receive at the Diverse Business Summit. I am bringing to you an impressive lineup of keynote speakers, and they are all within the corporate industry. So build your black book, guys, build your black book. There's going to be an exhibition of top suppliers. I think all the exhibitors are gone, I think there's only one spot left. I would need to check with the team, but yeah, we have filled that. So if you want to exhibit, and that's a conversation we can have, that's there. Network with professionals. I have put together a program of works. Now I've done this as 2 parts. So it's a conference, but also a workshop. Conference and workshop. So ask me, Michelle, why would you do that? I'll tell you why. Because if you are in business, you should know this, that you can expense your training under a business expense. If you're in business, you should have an accountant. You can go back to your accountant and double check, but I know this for a fact. So that's why I've made sure there are going to be program sessions. There's going to be masterclasses and workshops so that you leave there with something, all right? You will leave there with your knowledge increased, your expertise increased. There's going to be breakout sessions. There's going to be areas where you can connect with people. You can do those networkings. There's going to be roundtables and panel discussions, all on one day. It's only a one-day event on the 10th of November. On the day, you'll also get a clear blueprint of what to prioritize in your business based on what you're doing. I'm putting that together for you, all right? And part of that will be the visibility accelerator formula. So I'm going to show you how you can get more corporate visibility. That's all, you'll be getting all of those. And you get access to insights from 7 to 8 figure business owners and corporates. You'll get to hear from them. And what I've done is made roundtables, which are going to be more intimate, so you can ask them questions, grill them, ask them all those pressing questions. They're ready for it. Trust me, I've armed them and I said to them, I want you to be brutally honest, but also I want you to give them hope and access. Sonia was on the call with me. Sonia, you can testify that's what they are at that stage where they're so willing to help diverse business owners, small business owners. So, but you've got to be in the room, guys. You've got to be in the room. So my question to you is, I am bringing the corporates to you. I'm bringing Meta, Lloyd's, JC Decor. I can tell you that there's other people going to be here. I'm going to tell you this for now. Channel 4 is going to be there as well. They are not there to record it. It's not going to be a documentary, but they have been invited by one of the other corporates as guests. So we're going to have other corporates in the room. Just sitting everywhere. And they have told us that they just want to be sitting. Some will be sitting at the front as VIP, but others, they want to be in the audience mingling. All right. So have those conversations. If you might be sitting next to somebody, you may have never heard of the company, but don't underestimate anyone in the room. Do not underestimate anyone in the room. And the reason why I say that, because this is what happened with me. I was having coffee with somebody. I don't know who she was, but I was talking, we were having a conversation, and then she told me what company she works for, one of the biggest pharmaceutical practices in the world. We had a conversation, and she said, do you know what? I need to get you in. We need to get you in. Probably you can do a talk for one of our departments. Let me speak to the HR and see if we can get you in and take it from there. Now, if I didn't have that conversation over coffee, we wouldn't be in this situation. I wouldn't be, how much did they pay, shall I say? I wouldn't be 5-figure richer than I am now, because that's what it was. Literally over coffee. We just connected. That's all. She wasn't even a speaker. That's why I didn't even know who she was. She wasn't even a speaker. So this is why I share with you what I shared this with you, to understand the power of your network. Because now she's in my black book. Now I can say to her, listen, I'm having this event. Would you love to come? That's how I got all of these other speakers. So my question to you, and I want you to give me a figure, please. Put a figure in the chat. How much, what's the value of this? What do you think this is worth? And how much are the tickets? How much should I charge you for this? What's the value of this? Being in a room with corporates, with other professionals to network. You also get 3-course meal. You also get breakfast. You also get afternoon snacks as well. So no one needs to be going out buying anything. I've got that all covered for you. It's in a pristine, absolutely pristine venue. It's no community hall. It's no inn. It's not anything like that. I've got you the creme de la creme. That's why it's costing a lot of money. But you tell me, how much is that? Can I open it? I'm having problems. Can somebody share with me, Janine or Perline? I don't know who's there. I can't see anyone at the moment. Can you tell me what some of the figures are people saying?
Okay.
Give me a figure, please. Is anyone saying anything?
Not as yet.
Oh, guys, come on, get active with me. Let me know how much is this worth? I've also got, that I forgot to tell you actually, someone flying in from Dubai. So my advisor is coming in from Dubai. She helps people set up business in Dubai and get contracts in Dubai. And somebody said international. It may not be Dubai for you, but international is still international, right? So yeah, and she'll be there as well. She'll have a stand, an exhibition stand. So give me a figure, please. How much is this? Give me a figure.
Somebody said 1,000, sorry, 10,000? 15? 500,000?
Okay. That's good. Because the value of this is very high. The value of this is very high. And it's only valuable if you do the work. If you come and you do nothing, if you come and learn nothing, if you come and you don't follow up, then it's worthless, right? But for all of this, it's only 249. The value is higher than the cost that I am charging. For £249, you get all of what I've told you before, but you also get a pre-event online training. So on the 1st of November, please put that in your diary. So you need to put the 1st and then you need to put the 10th in your diary. On the 1st of November, a team of us, a small team of us, we are going to put on a session so that we can show you how to leverage the event. This will not be an event that you just come to and you forget. I need to make it work for you. Your money must work for you. All right. So you've got to come to the event and I'm going to show you how to leverage, how to make those connections, how to network, the value proposition. We even have one of the guys who's doing one of the master classes. He's going to pop in and say hello, and he's in the Middle East. That's where he lives. He's going to pop on the Zoom to say hello and to let you know what his session is going to be about. So this is what we're doing for you. You also get that. That's got a whole value by itself. That's got a big figure all by itself. Then you're going to get the conversation toolkit. So I'm going to do a whole kit for you that you can leave with or access online. So you get access to that. And then obviously, like I said before, if you want to start a business in Dubai, if you want to get some international contracts, you'll be able to speak to Amy Joy. She's going to be there. She's flying in from Dubai, especially for this conference. Especially for this conference. So who's coming? Say, I'm coming in the chat. Say me. Put a me in the chat if you're coming. Put a me in the chat if you're coming, please. And not those who are already coming. If there's anyone who's watching this webinar and you're already coming, that's fine. Any new people?
And
Who's coming?
Grace.
Grace, good.
Grace Chan, Sania.
All right. So what I want you to do, Pauline, if you could put, Pauline or Janine, put the link in the chat so they can see the website, so they can see how they can buy it. Because I've got something else for every single one of you that said me. I've got something else for you. I've got an extra bonus. But put it in the chat so that they can see the link and they can buy. And let's do that. So everyone that said me and you buy within 24 hours, the first 10 people, because there's 18, 17 people on here. So the first 10 people that buys within 24 hours, I'm going to give you this. I'm going to give you the names. I'm going to give you the names, but not also the names and the script of 10 magazines that want you to write for them and they pay you. Write one article. It could be one article. One of the magazines pay per word. One of them, and most of them pay per article. They pay anything from $1,000 to $4,000. 1,000 to 4,000. That's, you can do one article for them and it's paid triple, quadruple what the price of the event is. Okay? I will give you the magazines. I will even show you how to write, how to pitch to the magazine for them to say yes and to buy. I did this when I was out in Dubai, and I did it for 3 articles. I got paid for 2 of them. So I don't have to pay to write for them. They're paying me to write for them. 10 magazines. I actually have a list of 38, but I'm only giving you 10 because I'm only giving you 10. Only 10. And I'll also give you a script of what you can use with corporates. So remember, we're talking about how to say something, what to write. I've got it for you. You get that as well. If you sign up in the next 24 hours, and I'm going to be very strict on this. The reason why I'm going to be strict on this, because I need to teach us urgency. Urgency. Because I've run webinars like this all the time. I've got access to a lot of good people, and I want to make sure that people who buy into me, who believe my source and believe what I do, and they buy their tickets, come to the event and engage and enjoy and all of that greatness, then I know these are people who have invested in me. I can invest back. I can invest back. All right. So this is what you'll get. This is the value of 6,000. This is the Let's Go pitching document, the script. You'll also get a 90-minute recording of how to host an executive roundtable. That's one of the entry points I told you about, like a lunch and learn. And I'll also give you 30 FAQs of how to secure your first or your next gig. Every question that I've been asked, I've been keeping them, and I've got over 100. I'm going to give you 30 of them. And all you pay is nothing. You pay nothing for all of that. And all of that is worth £6,000, just under 7,000. Let me know, are you coming to the event? Put a yes in the chat. Are you coming to the event? I'll give you all of these within 24 hours. The event is not until the 10th. You'll come to the pre-event masterclass on the 1st. Remember, put the 1st in your diary at 7 p.m. And then the event on the 10th, which is all day. Be prepared, wear your flat shoes. We're there all day, and you've got to come from early. These are our speakers. These are our speakers. So who knows Emmanuel Asuko? He is a presenter on Channel 4. He does a lot, talks a lot about wealth. He is going to be hosting the entire day. Then we have our fireside chat with Claudine and Tim Campbell. Who knows Tim Campbell from The Apprentice? He was one of the first winners from The Apprentice. He's absolutely brilliant. E-Man is brilliant. Claudine is brilliant. Then we've got Suki Wahawala. He is a multi-millionaire. Let me tell you, I had to go to his house. I had to go to his estate. It's not a house. It's an estate. It's a mansion. And he's absolutely brilliant. And he said he can't wait to come and share. He's doing a session on procrastination. Definitely worth going to. Then we've got Marilla Sula. Anyone knows her? She is the head of Global Woman brand. She got me my first international speaking gig. We've got Rapunda, brilliant lady. She runs Asian Women Mean Business, a big brand for Asian, South Asian women. She's going to be on our panel. We've got, oh no, I haven't given her right now. This is not Suki Wahawala. That is Maria. She is from Ernst & Young. So apologies, Maria, if you watch this recording. She is going to be one of our speakers, and she is sponsoring. We have a pitch competition. There's going to be a winner. You'll get a chance to pitch what you do in front of all of these people. And Ernst & Young are going to give you a prize for that. So you've got to be there. And of course, I'll be speaking. So, guys, this is all I want you to do. The link is in the chat. Can we re-put the link in the chat, please, so that people can buy their tickets, so that I can send them all their goodies with it between tonight and tomorrow. That's all I'm doing it. You've got tonight and tomorrow, and I'll give you all your goodies. Or if it's easier, just scan this. Answer the questions. I need you to answer the questions when you book your ticket, so we know who's coming, we know what you do, because I need to let the people know that we have someone here who does wealth and well-being. We've got someone here who does this. So please answer the questions, book your ticket. And I am open for questions. So this is where you can put your questions. So guys, was that good? Did you learn something today? Did you learn something today? You guys said that you want to meet with corporates. This is your chance. This is your chance. This is your chance. And yes, it is an amazing lineup. And there's other people coming. So questions, guys, I'm here at your disposal. And obviously, I'll answer more questions and we get deeper on the 1st of November at 7 p.m. And you come to the event on the 10th. And like I said, you have access to the full day event, the masterclasses, the roundtables, networking, the Q&A sessions, 3-course buffet meal, breakfast, entertainment, and you also get the conversation toolkit, the pre-event. There's a lot I'm giving, isn't it? For 249. Hey, even when I'm saying it out my mouth, I'm thinking, it sounds like a lot. It sounds like a lot you're getting for 249. But you know what? This is my first event, guys. I'm feeling very real. This is my first event. I'm going all out, as you can tell, with my first event. Look, and the details are on there at the top there of my screen as well. And I'm doing this, and that's why I'm doing it at this cost, because I want to get as many people in to really experience what it's like to do work with corporates, ask those questions, be a part of it, let them see you and engage with you. Because when I do this again, it is not going to be 249. It definitely isn't. And the price goes up to £350. All right. So I want you to get it at the 249 today in the next 24 hours. So questions, any questions, please let me know. I am here at your disposal. Please ask your questions.
Right. We've got 2 questions here from Ria. How do we know how to pitch our prices? And she's in the education sector.
All right. So with that is a deeper question, because I need to know more, Ria, about what you offer, what you're going to be offering, because I can't just give you a figure because it will be the wrong figure. I want to give you the right figure. So that's a conversation we can definitely have. and you won't need that answer right now, like for the event, because you wouldn't be talking about pricing to anybody. But what we will do, we can definitely have a conversation, because I need to know more about what do you offer, how long is the program, and all of those kind of things. And then I can give you a ballpoint in terms of the other people I know who sell their services into. I know people sell it into schools and into universities. I can tell you what they charge. Then you can weigh up whether you're too little, you're over the top, and give you a better mark. All right. Awesome.
And Chan, remember the question that Chan had asked, how would this work for the CJS, MOJ, and its affiliates?
Okay.
For example, social service.
All right. So Ministry of Justice, I can tell you that one of the departments from the Ministry of Justice are coming to the event. So there's two, but they're not from the department that you're asking for, but they're going to be there. Now I can tell you from now why they're going to be there. So that's going to help with your response. They want to be there because they want to work with more diverse business owners and small business owners. They already want to work. So you're perfect, Chan. And in terms of how does it work, it's a conversation. So remember what I told you, you get the conversation starter pack, and anyone that buys, I'm going to give you the script so you know exactly what to say to them. So before you get the script, I can just tell you a little bit what you can do. You need to understand what is the priority. So I've got Ministry of Justice coming, and the department that is coming is the HMPPS, Her Majesty's Prison Service. That's the department. Now I know what they want because I've had the conversation. I can go online and see what is their priority. So because I know what their priority is, I was able to engage them in conversation, and I can then go in and say, listen, I understand this is what your corporate priority is right now. I can offer you this. So I've gone to them already, and I have delivered a 1-day piece of work for one of their departments. I did that. And then they've asked me to come in again. So that we're still discussing because the price ain't really right for me. We need to be higher than what I did before. So that's what we're discussing. But now I can bring them here to the event and say, all right, you can have access to these different people, what they do. So for Chan, my question to you is, what do you offer, or what can you offer them? And do you understand what their needs are? So there's two big parts to that. Really understand what you can offer them. So understand what is your value proposition. So you can say, oh, Chan, I am this, I do this, and this is what I can offer. That's your value proposition. That's one thing. And then you need to understand, does your value proposition align to what they want? You can't just have a value proposition and this is not what they want. So it has to be in alignment. All right. So that's what we do. Also, Marie, you've got to run. No problem, my lovely. We're finishing now. You're a self-development coach. Brilliant. Thank you, Chan. I've just seen that. So what you need to be thinking about is the department of the MOJ. Where do they need self-development? Where do they have leaks in the company or with employees that you can help fill that leak? That's what you need to think about. That's where you start. You start from that position, then the conversation becomes easy. All right, brilliant. So what else? Any other questions, guys?
Carolina is saying, I need help with package pricing, please.
Okay, Carolina. So yes. So and once again, I need to know what the package is. And so, well, these questions are like one-to-one questions. So I need to know what the package is. So let's give you an example. If you can write down, tell me a little bit more about what you do, I can give you some information, but I need to know. And in terms of packaging, I'll give you a clue in terms of packaging. It's how you offer it. They don't really care about, is it 1 month, 3 months? Is it done on Zoom? Is it done in person? Those are the features. What you need to know is how am I selling the benefits, That's what they're buying. They're not buying the features, they are buying the benefits. So how is what you offer going to benefit them? Is it going to benefit them now? Is it going to benefit them in 6 months' time? Is it going to benefit them in 2 months? What do you do and how does it benefit them? How does it save them money, save them time? All of that we're talking about. All right. So you do project and event management. Okay. So project management is good. I can tell you that. Events is good as well. Let's take one of them. Project management is good. So what you want to do is in a project management cycle, you might be able to say, I can help with particular one-off projects that you have. And you might come in as the project manager who can bring the team together. And then you'll understand all the moving parts because you're going to project manage a project either for them, an existing project they might have, or you might say, you might be able to give them something new and you be the project manager of something new. So you have to understand what's going on inside the organization. So that's why I'm saying you need to use Google. You need to look at their annual reports. You need to go on Google Alerts, put it on Google Alerts, then you will know. So once you know what is happening within the organization, then you can pitch your project management services. You wouldn't pitch yourself as project and events management. It's two different things. You pitch yourself as a project manager or you pitch yourself as an events manager. Now, for you, I would say look at, for the events, check out Snook, S-N-O-O-K, Snook Events. They are an external company. They get shifted in to do events for companies all the time. Have a look at their website, have a look at what they do, replicate. Success leaves clues. So do that, yeah? Snook Events, S-N-O-O-K. Okay.
Vanessa is asking, do you recommend using LinkedIn?
LinkedIn.
LinkedIn.
LinkedIn, yeah.
For raising awareness and showing her expertise.
Perfect. Definitely. Do not sleep on LinkedIn. Do not sleep on LinkedIn. People will say, oh, but the decision maker is not on LinkedIn. But the decision maker is not the one who you're going to have that first conversation with. You might be having that conversation with the ops manager, the learning and development, head of HR. They are the ones who are on LinkedIn. So you need to make sure you're raising your awareness and your visibility. Thought leadership content, like long form articles. I started doing that this year, and I think I've got like 254 subscribers, and I can see who the subscribers are. They're people from companies. Which is great. So I can't remember the last article I wrote. It might have been about the event actually. I talked about supplier diversity. And so I didn't go by how many people are commenting. I can see they're subscribing to my thing. That means I can then email them content. So definitely use LinkedIn. And use it, do a LinkedIn Live with somebody. And you get as many people to come in and watch your LinkedIn Live. So there's different ways you can use LinkedIn, but definitely use that. Do not sleep on LinkedIn. I get referrals from LinkedIn, recommendations from LinkedIn. So don't sleep on it. Awesome. So Ria here is, I would like to offer my special educational needs. Brilliant. Do you know why I'm saying brilliant, Ria? Because neurodiversity is on the rise. Neurodivergency. That may not be what you do, but I'm just saying, if you can do anything around autism, dyslexia, anything like that, there's a market for that. I've got someone in my cohort, in my membership right now. She does this. Let me tell you, she did something on LinkedIn. She got, let me not lie, 600 leads. She got more leads than me, babes. I was like, what? And she was sitting on it, Ria. She was sitting on, I wanted to slap her. She was sitting on those 600 leads. I was dumbfounded. And I just said to her, you get back onto it. You hire a VA to email absolutely all of them. And you know what she was talking about? She was talking about neurodiversity in leadership. And she did a LinkedIn video. She went live on LinkedIn. She went with somebody else, I think, as well. That's all she did. So guys, do not sleep on LinkedIn. Do not sleep on LinkedIn. 600 leads, I couldn't believe it. She got, let me tell you, I've never got that much leads, never. But you know why? What she does is urgent and relevant. Remember at the beginning, I talked about visibility and proximity, getting clarity and control, but also urgent and relevant. And right now, because we're talking a lot around diversity. Diversity doesn't mean just Black people. Diversity doesn't mean just a man, woman. It's diversity of thought. So neurodivergent people. If you can talk about that, there's a market for that. The companies will pay for that because they don't know how to manage diverse staff, like neurodivergent staff. They don't know how to do it. They're poor at it. And you need to tell them that they're poor at it because they think they're good at it. All right. Any other questions? So who's booked their tickets? Who's booking their tickets within 24? Ria, are you booking your tickets? I am. You didn't even need to come off mute. I read your lips. I am. You've got to come. Definitely come, because I will speak to I think one of the companies, they were talking about neurodiversion, and I can do you an intro. I'll happily do an intro. Brilliant. Okay. Any other questions? That's right, Hanan. Keep putting that link up in there. Let's get you all there so you can just network. And listen, remember, I met the woman over coffee and I got a speaking engagement like in less than 2 months afterwards. I met her over coffee and she wasn't even a speaker. That's why just talk to people in the room, talk to people here. You just don't know. Like Karen needs to connect with Vanessa. Vanessa needs to connect with Veronica and Beulah and everybody. You need to just connect. Bomar is here as well. Carol, you just don't know who's got connections in what different areas. Well, guys, I've got to go now because it's 8:33 in the UK now, and I wanted this to be an hour and a half, and it has been. So, guys, how do you connect with me? Okay, that's a good question, Karen. Let me get my details for you.
It's been a pleasure to be here and listen.
Thank you. Thank you, guys, and it's a pleasure. It's always listen. My mum actually who is on this line. She has always brought me up to share. I don't need to. I can be selfish and keep this all to myself, but I can't. I'll never fulfill my true purpose if I do that. So definitely connect with me on LinkedIn and also on Instagram as well. I'll put my Instagram link on here in two jiffies. And yeah, let's keep in contact, guys. Let's keep in contact. That would be awesome. And there you go. Here's all my details there. Connect with me and let me know how you get on. If you take anything from today and you put it into action, this is great, absolutely great. And if you have bought your tickets within 24 hours, send me a message on Instagram. I'll do a shout out for you. I'll send you all your goodies that you can get, and I'll make sure we'll look out for you on the day, because our speaker concierge is here. Somebody from our events team is here as well. Guys, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure, an absolute pleasure. Thank you all. I can't see all your faces, but that's perfectly fine. So I'm going to see you on the 1st of November. Put in your diary at 7 p.m. and the 10th all day. We start from 8:30, 8:45. Be in the room. Be in the room. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. Take care, guys. Thank you so much.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
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 Bye.